Hello and welcome to our D5 Render Quick Start tutorials. In Lesson 4, I'll talk about how to use artificial lights in D5. For better explanation, I will use two example scenes. The first one is the main example of this lesson, the daylight scene. But this scene has only a few artificial light sources, so I choose another special example to make a better demonstration. This space is closed without any windows, so that it is completely illuminated by the artificial lights. Then we can see the effect of artificial lights in D5 Render directly. Let's continue with the example scene of the previous lesson. In the toolbar above, we can find all the artificial lights in D5 Render, or you can find them in the Insert menu. Or you can press the shortcut 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is for point light, 2 is for spotlight, 3 is for light strip, 4 is for rectangular light. The self-illumination materials can also be counted as a kind of light source. We can use this material to create special shaped light. Now we can start to add artificial lights to our scene. It's a daylight scene, so I won't add too many lights. The space in front of the camera is far away from the windows, so it is still a little bit darker than I wanted. I want to add some fill lights to light up the space just a little bit. We can click on this icon to create a point light and move it upwards. Whenever you select a light source, you can use the Axis tool to move it. If you want to duplicate this light, you can hold down Shift and drag the Axis tool. You can also use the shortcut Ctrl+D to duplicate a light, but the new light will appear on the mouse cursor and won't be in line with the previous light. In the toolbar, you can see these 4 tools. They are for rotation, move, mirror, and duplicate. Obviously, for the point light, we don't need to rotate or mirror it, so these 2 icons are grayed out. After we move the light to the desired position, we can click on it and editing panel will pop up. We can bring down the brightness value of this light, and we can use the radius parameter to control the fall-off distance of the point light. We just need to light up the dark room a little bit, so I'll bring these 2 values down. Then you can switch the color tab. Here you can change the color of the light source, hue, saturation, and value. And you can also use the color temperature slider, which is super convenient. In this case, we will leave the color to white. When you find the right values for the light, you can click on the views we saved before to go back to our composition. We can duplicate the light like this and adjust the values to your taste. When it's done, we can press the shortcut L to hide the light source. You can press L again to show all the light sources. I think this is enough fill lights for the daylight scene. I will use another example scene to demonstrate the artificial lights. Now I have imported another SketchUp scene. You can see that it has no openings or windows at all. When I move inside the room, it is completely dark, just like in the real world. When we face a situation like this, we can just grab a point from the toolbar. This light is used as a flashlight to help us get information inside the room. For this scene, I have already set up all the materials, so we only need to add the artificial lights. First, we adjust the self-illumination materials for these lights. We select these lights and set the light intensity to 0.1 and repeat this process for the rest of the decoration lights. After this, we can delete the flashlight we added before. Step 2, we select this lamp and give it a 0.1 self-illumination. No, this is a result after we set 2 groups of self-illumination lights. Now I want to talk about spotlights. We select the spotlight tool, click on the floor to place it, then move it up. The interaction is very similar to the point light, and we can drag this part of the to rotate the spotlight. Here is the editing panel of the spotlight. D5 Render has. Of course, you can click Choose button and double-click, move it to the right place. Now let's look at these sliders. The first one is for the brightness. The second one is for the cone angle. Let's move the light here to see it better. You can use this slider to control the cone angle of the spotlight. The third slider also controls the fall-off distance just like the point light. The fall-off distance is the longest distance from light source to the object it can light up. Now we switch to the color tab. It is the same as the point light parameters: hue, saturation, value, and color temperature. We can duplicate the spotlight like this. Hold down Shift and drag. To light up the space in front of the camera, we will add a new light here and bring the brightness down a little bit, and bring down the fall-off distance to reduce the range of the light spot on the floor. Now let's see how to use a light strip. Place a light strip in the scene. This is the basic parameter of the light strip. You can use a slider to control the length of the light, or you can enter the precise numbers. The second slider is for the brightness. The last one is a rectangular light. We can also use this to make the light strip. The render quality is even better. We can use the XY slider to control its length and width, and use brightness slider to control the intensity. The color tab is the same with the other lights. We can set this rectangular light warmer. After setting up all the lights, we press L to hide all the light sources. Then we adjust the exposure a little bit. We can click on the preview button in the upper right corner to preview the result of the lighting. Using artificial lights properly can be very helpful to the atmosphere of our scene. So much for this lesson. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.